When we think of unimaginable wealth today, our minds naturally drift to the titans of the modern world. Tech billionaires, oil tycoons, industrial magnates, men who measure their fortunes in the hundreds of billions, who race each other to space, and who hold the power to sway global markets with a single tweet. We think we know what it means to be rich. We think we know what peak human wealth looks like. We are wrong. 700 years ago, in the heart of West Africa, a man walked the earth whose wealth was so vast, so completely incomprehensible, that modern historians and economists cannot even accurately put a number on it. Some estimate his net worth was the equivalent of $400 billion. Others simply say his wealth was indescribable. He didn't just participate in the global economy. He broke it. By accident. He was a man who marched across the deadliest desert on earth with an army of 60,000 people, leaving a trail of pure gold so thick that it altered the financial destiny of entire nations for a decade. He turned a city made of mud into a global beacon of science, mathematics, and stars. His name was Musa Keita I. But the world would come to know him as Mansa Musa, the King of Kings. Today, we are going to journey back to the 14th century. We will uncover the secrets of the Mali Empire, the mystery of the king who sailed into the Atlantic never to return, and the legendary pilgrimage that made Mansa Musa a god among men. Before we step into the scorching sands of the Sahara, I need your help to grow this channel. If you love deep dives into the forgotten, epic stories of history, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It costs you nothing, but it means the world to a new channel like this one. Grab a drink, settle in, and let me tell you the greatest story of wealth the world has ever known. To understand how Mansa Musa became the richest man in history, we must first understand how he got the throne. Because the truth is, Musa was never supposed to be king. The year is 1312. The Mali Empire is already a sprawling, prosperous kingdom in West Africa. It is a land blessed by geography, resting like a crown upon the great Niger River. But the empire is in a state of confusion. The current ruler, Mansa Abu Bakr II, is a man obsessed. But he is not obsessed with gold, or power, or war. He is obsessed with the edge of the world. Abu Bakr looked to the west, where the mighty Atlantic Ocean crashed against the African shores. While European explorers like Columbus were still centuries away from crossing the Atlantic, the African king Abu Bakr believed that the ocean had a further shore. According to historical records recorded by Syrian scholars, Abu Bakr commissioned a fleet of 200 ships. He filled them with men, gold, water, and enough provisions to last for years. He gave the captains a single, chilling order: do not return until you have reached the end of the ocean, or until you have exhausted your food and water. Months passed. Then, years. Only one single ship returned. The captain claimed that the rest of the fleet had been swallowed by a violent current in the middle of the sea, a river in the ocean. Did this deter Abu Bakr? No. It only fueled his obsession. In an act of unparalleled audacity, the king of Mali abdicated his throne. He commissioned an even larger fleet, 2,000 ships, and commanded the expedition himself. He sailed into the vast, unknown Atlantic, leaving his trusted deputy behind to rule the empire. Abu Bakr II was never seen or heard from again. The deputy left behind to rule the empire was a young man named Musa. Under the laws of the empire, with the king lost to the sea, the deputy became the sovereign. In 1312, Musa Keita officially became Mansa Musa. Mansa meaning sultan, conqueror, or demperor. Musa did not share his predecessor's obsession with the ocean. He didn't care about the edge of the world. Musa cared about the ground beneath his feet. And beneath his feet lay the greatest concentration of wealth on the planet. Mansa Musa was a devout Muslim. In Islam, one of the 5 pillars of the faith is the Hajj, a mandatory pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca, which every Muslim must undertake at least once in their lifetime if they are physically and financially able. In the year 1324, Mansa Musa decided it was time. But Musa was not going to travel like a humble pilgrim. He was the emperor of Mali. He was the lord of the mines of Wangara. He was going to travel in a way the world had never seen, and would never see again. Quick pause. If you are enjoying this journey through time so far, please take 1 second to drop a like on this video and subscribe. Our channel is brand new, and your support is the only way we can keep bringing these epic historical stories to life. Now, back to the Golden Caravan. The preparation for the journey took years. When the caravan finally departed the capital city of Niani, it was not a group of travelers. It was a moving city. Historians from the era, such as Al-Amari and Ibn Khaldun, recorded the sheer scale of the procession. Try to picture this in your mind. 60,000 people. That is a sold-out modern football stadium, marching across the Sahara Desert. Among them were 12,000 personal slaves. But these were not slaves dressed in rags. Every single one of them was dressed in the finest Persian silk and brocade. In their hands, each of the 12,000 carried a staff made of pure, solid gold, weighing roughly 4 to 5 pounds each. Behind them marched Musa's royal guard, 500 heralds, dripping in gold jewelry, holding golden spears. Then came the baggage train. 80 to 100 camels, marching in a single file line. Each camel carried between 100 and 300 pounds of pure gold dust. In total, Mansa Musa brought roughly 40,000 pounds of gold with him. Tens of billions of dollars in today's money, carried on the backs of animals, marching into the deadliest environment on Earth. And at the center of it all, riding on horseback beneath a sprawling canopy of silk, preceded by banners of red and gold, was Mansa Musa himself. The journey was almost 4,000 miles long. They had to cross the unforgiving Sahara Desert, a place of boiling heat, freezing nights, and deadly sandstorms. To keep a caravan of 60,000 people and thousands of animals alive in a desert is a logistical miracle. Musa brought massive amounts of food, a mobile mosque that was assembled and disassembled every single day for prayer, and a network of scouts who mapped out the rare water wells along the route. Every Friday, no matter where they were in the harsh desert, Musa would order the construction of a new mosque. He quite literally built a trail of places of worship across the sands of Africa. Months of grueling travel passed. And finally, the golden mirage emerged from the desert and arrived at the gates of the greatest metropolis in the medieval world, Cairo. In July 1324, the caravan arrived in Cairo, Egypt. At the time, Cairo was a massive, incredibly wealthy city, ruled by the Mamluk Sultan, Al-Nasir Muhammad. The people of Cairo were used to wealth. They were used to seeing kings and merchants pass through their city. But they had never seen anything like Mansa Musa. The sheer size of his entourage choked the streets. The glimmer of his gold blinded the merchants. The locals were paralyzed with awe. But Musa's arrival immediately sparked a massive diplomatic crisis. Protocol in Egypt demanded that any visiting leader must bow down and kiss the ground before the Mamluk Sultan. Mansa Musa, the emperor of Mali, absolutely refused. he stated that he would bow to no man. He would only bow to Allah. Tension skyrocketed. The Sultan's guards placed their hands on their swords. Musa's 500 golden-speared guards stepped forward. A war between two of the most powerful empires in the world almost sparked right there in the throne room. Finally, Musa offered a brilliant compromise. He stepped forward, looked the Sultan in the eye, and bowed, stating loudly that he was bowing to God, who had created the Sultan, and not the Sultan himself. The Sultan accepted the loophole. The tension was broken, and Musa was welcomed as an honored guest. And then, the spending began. Mansa Musa did not just spend his gold. He gave it away with a level of generosity that was almost terrifying. He gave chunks of gold to the poor on the streets. He gave massive bags of gold dust to the city officials. He bought expensive Egyptian silk, weapons, and souvenirs, paying merchants 10 times what their items were worth. He tipped so heavily that the peasants of Cairo thought he was a literal angel sent from heaven. The chronicler Al-Amari, who visited Cairo 12 years after Musa left, wrote that the people of the city still couldn't stop talking about the African king. But Musa's extreme generosity had a dark, unintended consequence. Musa flooded the market with so much pure gold that he effectively destroyed its value. In the medieval world, gold was the standard of currency. Because it was rare, it was valuable. But overnight, Musa made gold common. The sudden influx of 40,000 pounds of gold into the Egyptian economy caused hyperinflation. The price of everyday goods skyrocketed. The value of gold plummeted. Mansa Musa is the only man in recorded history to single-handedly control and crash the price of gold in the Mediterranean. It would take the economy of the Middle East over a decade to recover from the financial ruin caused by Musa's extreme charity. Think about that. He broke a global economy just by being too generous. Leaving a baffled and financially broken Cairo behind, Mansa Musa finally reached Mecca. Here, the emperor stripped away his royal silk, his golden crowns, and his imperial titles. He wrapped himself in the simple two-piece white garment of a pilgrim. In the eyes of God, the richest man in the world was equal to the poorest beggar. Musa spent his time in Mecca in deep prayer, performing the rituals of the Hajj, studying with Islamic scholars, and recruiting the brightest minds of the Middle East to come back to Mali with him. But the journey home would not be a victory lap. It would be a nightmare. By the time the caravan turned back toward Africa, they had given away almost all of their gold. They were exhausted. Disaster struck on the return journey through the desert. A brutal winter, followed by scorching heat, decimated the caravan. Starvation set in. Bandits, hearing of the Golden King, attacked the weakened travelers. A massive portion of the 60,000 people who left Mali never made it back. When Mansa Musa arrived back in Cairo on his way home, a shocking reality hit him. The richest man in the history of the world was broke. He had given away everything. For the first time in his life, Mansa Musa had to borrow money. He went to the wealthy merchants of Cairo, the very same men he had enriched months earlier, and took out massive loans at incredibly high interest rates to fund the rest of his journey home. It is a poetic irony. The man who crashed the economy with his wealth had to take out a high-interest payday loan just to make it home. Don't worry, once he got back to Mali and the gold mines, he promptly paid back every single debt in full, plus interest. Mansa Musa returned to Mali a changed man. He no longer just wanted Mali to be the richest empire. He wanted it to be the smartest. While in Mecca, Musa had recruited brilliant minds. The most famous was a poet and architect from Andalusia named Abu Ishaq al-Sahili. Musa paid him 200 kilograms of gold just to come to Mali. Together, they set their eyes on a bustling trade city on the edge of the Sahara. A city called Timbuktu. Al-Sahili introduced the use of burnt brick to the empire. He designed and built the Grand Jingareba Mosque, a masterpiece of earthen architecture that still stands today, 700 years later. But Musa didn't just build mosques. He built universities. He founded the Sankore University, transforming Timbuktu into the intellectual capital of the world. Long before the universities of Europe reached their peak, Timbuktu housed an astonishing library of hundreds of thousands of manuscripts. Scholars from across the Middle East, Europe, and Asia traveled across the deadly desert not for Mali's gold, but for Mali's knowledge. They came to study mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and law. Under Mansa Musa, books became more valuable than gold. In 1337, after a reign of 25 years, Mansa Musa passed away. But his legacy had already been etched into the very fabric of history. 50 years after his pilgrimage, in 1375, a cartographer in Spain drew the Catalan Atlas, the most important map of the medieval period. And right there, in the center of West Africa, the mapmaker drew a majestic black king, sitting on a throne of gold, holding a golden staff in one hand, and a massive golden nugget in the other. Mansa Musa had successfully put Mali, and himself, on the map. Literally. Today, we quantify greatness with Forbes lists and stock portfolios. We look at men like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and we marvel at their billions. But Mansa Musa's story teaches us something profound about the nature of wealth. Musa possessed more gold than any human being who has ever lived. But if gold was all he had, history would have forgotten him. His true legacy was not the gold he gave away in Cairo, or the economy he accidentally broke. His true legacy was the mud brick walls of Timbuktu. It was the books he preserved. It was the knowledge he fostered. He took the wealth of the earth, and he used it to elevate the minds of his people. He was the Emperor of Gold. But more importantly, he was the architect of an African golden age. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through the sands of time. Producing these deep-dive historical documentaries takes a massive amount of time, research, and effort. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you are an absolute legend. Please, leave a comment below telling me what you thought of Mansa Musa, and let me know which historical figure we should cover next. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and share this video with a fellow history lover. Until next time, keep exploring the past, because it is the only way to understand the future.